It's another week, which means it's another Daredevil rumor. Actually, it's not so much Daredevil weekly, it's more like monthly you get another rumor with Daredevil. You know what I'm saying though. Daredevil is more or less, I think, the safest character from all the canceled shows. And by that I mean he's like the safest character to come back into the core MCU. So let's talk about the fact that people are now like dead set on the fact that they're reporting, yes, he's coming to the third Spider-Man film and how that's gonna work out. I guess we'll talk about it after the thing. And as always, before we get into the video, thank you guys for watching, and as always, if you would like a little more content, we do offer in the memberships button down below. When all of those Marvel shows were canceled, people were pretty vocal. When Daredevil was canceled, that was the majority of the biggest outcry I've seen for anything canceled Marvel, or any comic book show really, so it makes a lot of sense. There's been rumors that they're gonna bring back the Defenders in some fashion, whether it's on FX, or start rolling them into the films, or roll them into some of the darker side of the MCU that's coming with Blade, or Moon Knight, or whatever they're developing. This makes some sense, and Daredevil, I think, is the safest, and that's what a lot of people are willing to say will happen. Now, when it comes to Spider-Man, the film has to start shooting by July of 2020. So things got to get rolling on it. Now, Daredevil was canceled last year, right at the end of it before Christmas. And we know there's a 2-year contract hold. So by the time that they can get Charlie Cox in there, back as Daredevil, the film is about 6 months till release. Before that, he can't be Daredevil. It's legally not possible. Unless Disney is willing to pay out Netflix to buy out the character because they don't own him. He was at Netflix and now they gotta wait for that period where he comes back. It's kind of like those contracts that were in play with Fox, with Sony, and various other things. So is this possible? If they buy him out, it is, because there is the whole lawyer thing. They could do that. But to me, I don't think there's value in it. Like, there really is no value in doing that to Daredevil, where you don't have to buy him. You can just sit on the contract. It's going to expire by 14 months from now. It's done. And then you can roll him into whatever other series you have developing. And by that time, I assume they'll be shooting Blade or doing something along those lines with the darker side of the MCU, so they can include him in anything down the road. And realistically, I think they want to, but I think people are starting to really jump the shark with the, I guess, expectation that he's going to be in the next film. Just because he's a lawyer doesn't necessarily mean he's the one they go to. They, let's say, put him in there and nobody knows about it, Netflix will sue Disney and Sony into the ground. Nobody wants that. They can't do it on the secret. So if he is in the film, it would have to be made very public, because there'd be an announcement. Oh, we worked something out. It's in the press release of the actors and everything, right? So it's interesting. I don't think he appears in the next Spider-Man film unless they buy him out of the contract. And Netflix is probably being petty and wants more than he's worth. So Sony and Disney really don't need to do it, especially when they can put in other characters that are more recognizable than Daredevil, who was only viewed by 8 million people or something, I think, last season, or whatever those numbers were, because they never released official ones, but it's internet marketing that finds it. So take the credibility of that as you will.